G'day guys, this is CW, and joining me today for this video is Dan Friedman. He's been appointed the Strategic Advisor for Ergo a number of months ago. Yeah, mate, would you like to expand on your experiences here at Ergo?
Definitely. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. Thanks for hosting this little Q&A. Help me, stay on point, not to get too long-winded, because I have a tendency of doing that. And yeah, it's been a great several months. I am very excited about the direction the project has taken, the advancements that have come, just in the past few months that I've been here. I'm not saying I influenced it, but I'm just saying I was here while it was happening, and I'm just really happy that it's happening, just to see this really explosive growth of the ecosystem. Because like I said, when I was coming into the ecosystem, I remember there were a few projects, obviously they were really kind of, getting into it, but we're like 3 Ergo hacks later, we got all these different projects doing their thing, really kind of prominent, creating brands around them. We got, we got exchange listings coming up, we got funding coming up, we got a lot more Ergonauts that new Ergonauts that joined us in the past few months. I mean, I'm sure you've seen it. There's been quite a nice influx of new people.
Both in the community side, but then also the development side as well. So they see a number of sort of community projects jumping out and getting into the ecosystem, and the exponential growth, I could probably say, in regards to the social side. So we see that across all socials like Reddit, Twitter, etc. It's awesome to see.
Yeah, and I've been doing my part, just kind of talking crap on Twitter and whatnot, of course, we're doing a lot of things in the background, facilitating various deals. A lot of these things have a really, really long lead way. When you're working with exchanges, when you're working with funds, when you're working with bringing in larger projects into the ecosystem. It's not just about, you announce it and it's, and a lot of times if you announce it and you think it's done, it's really not done.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of the cases, a lot of the cases, everything's sort of out of our hands. Once we get all the sort of wheels in motion and everything like that, a lot of the cases, we can't really sort of have that big influence in when things are actually delivered. It's external to Ergo. Yeah,
so again, I'm just really glad that there's progress. I'm really glad to see this progress. I'm very thankful to actually the Cardano community that has taken a more active role in Ergo, because we all know, as a lot of Ergonauts are also Cardano people.
Yep.
It was fantastic to actually be able to host the meetup in Austin. It was very last minute, but we pulled it off, and miraculously pulled it off. And it really, I was, because the venue was so nice, and the venue was so nice and it's so convenient. It was literally right across the street from Consensus. We put a lot of effort into getting, getting the merch together, getting the food together, sending invites out, getting people in there. And one of the things I was really kind of, not really dreading, but just a little bit melancholy about, thinking like, okay, well, up until really, the last minute, we didn't really have it fully booked. We had something maybe like 50 people that joined out of 120 available spaces. And I was just kind of thinking like, well, with my experience, if you get 50 people that say they're coming, if you get 2/3 of that, you're doing good.
Yeah.
It's usually like half, so that means, what is it, like 25 people are coming? I mean, it still would have been great even with 25 people, but it's a venue for 120. You're doing all this work. You really want people to come there and enjoy it, and just kind of, you know what I mean? It's just been a little bit like, there's like 8 people in here, and it's a little empty. And and I was just dreading that a little bit, but the opposite happened. We had something like 120, 130 people, maybe even more come through. They stopped counting after 130.
That's amazing.
Like 100 or 120, 130. Yeah, and there weren't any any of those people that just kind of like came around to get a beer and some free tacos. Like you get, a lot of these places that really kind of get people in there. Everybody was really into it. Everybody was really just talking Ergo, checking out the live stream that you guys were doing as well. I was in all these different conversations. Like I said, everybody was talking Ergo, and it was great to see, because really that is the whole point. It's hanging out is cool, having some good tacos is cool. I hope me singing Japanese gangster tunes would also okay. But the whole point is to attract more people into Ergo. You introduce more people into Ergo, and I really think that we really succeeded with that meetup. So I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, it's great to be able to socialize and then also network at the same time. From the meetup on the digital side of things, it was great. We had a number of sort of great conversations and covered a number of sort of hot topics. And then, as you mentioned, we did actually capture you having your little boogie, and you serenaded with your lovely voice as well. So thank you very much for that. But then also being able to sort of wrangle Charles in as well and make an appearance, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, Charles, Charles is a trooper. I said this before in the last week's AMA. But, Charles has always been a huge supporter of Ergo. He just is. And I asked him, and during consensus, he was swamped. You can imagine. Yeah. Just on that, during that day, he had several interviews. He did an interview for like CNN or Yahoo Financial, some mainstream thing. Like he was on Fox Business or something, like some major interview at like 5 a.m. And then he did fireside chats all day long. And I asked him a couple of days before, I said, "Hey, Charles, we're doing this thing. It'd be great for you to come and to join us." And so I was kind of thinking, if he, basically was saying if he can, he will. Yep. But still, it's not obviously it's not 100%. And who knows, after a day like that, I wouldn't have taken it personally if he didn't show up. And then I come down and he's already there. Like he pulled up before me. I'm like, oh, Charles is already here. I just got here. I gotta pretend like I've already been here, because it's it was a little like, wait a second, because he was still, they were just pulling up, but a security detail was there already. Yeah. What? He's here already? Like, we're like literally haven't even opened the doors yet.
Yeah.
So it was great for him, that he definitely took the time to join. Actually, we have a good recording of his talk that he did at the meetup. And so we're gonna be kind of, doing a little bit of a prettying up with that, and we will make that available for you guys, because I know, we do have audio and we do have video of it from what you guys did from the feed that you put out, but we have a much cleaner video of that. So we will upload that in a few days so that you guys can check out what Charles had to say about Ergo at the meetup.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for that little sort of recap of your initiation into Ergo. So you've taken the deep dive and you're actually developing a suite of products on Ergo called Zengate. Do you want to elaborate and give us a bit of an insight into sort of what's going on behind the scenes there?
Sure. So, well, if you guys saw my kind of explainer video, you should have a pretty good idea about what's going on. there's a lot going on actually, and so I'll just kind of give a brief breakdown of what's been happening. And so the main focus, so basically the product lines that we're developing were these three product lines, or are developing three product lines. So we got Myriad, it's an ecosystem as a service, it's a national metaverse product. We have the Solaris portal, which is an SAS portal for creating white label solutions for small to mid-sized businesses using blockchain products, things like traceability, things like administrative solutions, these various solutions that the average person just didn't really have access to or doesn't know how to create.
Yeah.
So the whole point of the portal is to create it in a way so that it's kind of plug and play, drag and drop, no coding, and just kind of ready and but yet powerful. Something along the lines of like Zoho. If you guys are familiar with Zoho, it's a pretty major CRM. Maybe even WordPress, and I mean just in that kind of format. But think of that, but geared towards blockchain services, and so creating dApps, creating solutions for your business while utilizing blockchain services without having to code. And so the main product that we're actually really are actively building right now is the Palmyra Comdex. And so Palmyra is a tokenized commodity DEX. So it's kind of an order book style exchange that uses NFTs to tokenize various commodities. Now, aside from just doing that, right? So just tokenizing commodities, creating futures contracts, which is, if you guys are familiar with commodities, that's how a lot of commodities are traded with a futures contract, which in this case is created using smart contracts. Aside from that, it's also going to be integrated with a highly customizable traceability and logistics solution, which can then be kind of dialed into what you want to accomplish for your business. Like, say, for example, if your business wants to be utilizing, say, credits, or being more environmentally friendly as far as your logistics and your supply chain, or your logistics chain and your traceability chain is concerned. If you want to be more cost effective, if you want to be more expedient, all these things can be kind of dialed in with the help of the ecosystem that we're building. And the ecosystem that we're building is basically an aggregate of all these different relationships and all the different capabilities that I've gathered throughout the years of working in the blockchain field. My connections with governments, my connections with regulatory agencies, my connections with, and not just mine, but mine and my teams. Connections with logistics companies, with all these different entities that I have ongoing multi-year relationships with, that I can now utilize in this, because really all you need to do is just kind of integrate them within the same uniform standard, and then utilize it within this ecosystem. So it's not just about the product itself, which is a novel product, of course, but it's also about the ecosystem around it. And that is also why people ask me, well, what if somebody just comes in and copies it? Well, as we say in Cardano, you can copy software, but you can't copy ecosystems.
Exactly right. You can't fork a community.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's why I'm not really worried about that, because there's quite a bit of space in the market right now for this kind of system. This kind of system would create more financial inclusion for smaller and mid-size commodity creators, growers, producers, miners, whatever other commodities end up getting traded. And it also will create more transparency. It will deal a lot with one of the biggest problems that the commodity ecosystem as a whole has, which is fragmentation.
Yeah.
And also identity. Like say using traceability. I was actually just talking to somebody yesterday who used to run commodities, I think for Merrill Lynch or some major firm. And and he said, I was telling him about the product, and he was saying, this is really cool because there were things like the things that he actually ran into, like for example, they created futures contracts for a lot, not a lot, but a lot of coal, and later found out that this lot just does not exist.
Oh dear.
Because there was no way to verify because there was no transparency there. So just like somebody told somebody else that somebody got this thing, this contract chain happened. There was no verification of the original coal that was transparent enough, right? So with the blockchain, you can do this, but with with the legacy systems, it's really difficult to do to have this kind of transparency. And so they basically ended up creating a futures contract for ghost coal that did not exist. And this is a common problem with transparency with some of these commodities, with a lot of these commodities. So that's what this product will create, aside from the financial inclusion, outside from the opportunities for these individual growers, individual producers to have exposure to the wider world market. And on the other side, it will also create opportunities for the buyer to have exposure to a wider market as well to buy from. So, all around, I really believe that this will really revolutionize the commodity trading, the commodity trading as a whole. I really do believe that. And the more and more we dig into what Palmyra is about and what Palmyra can do, the more we realize that it's not just like a 1-2. It's like, okay, we just take it. We'll take it. We'll copy and paste Dex, take Dex software, and then we'll put a bunch of NFTs on there. And now they're like coal and gold and rice NFTs, and they are attached to some stuff. It's not like that. Each one of these commodities is really nuanced. The logistics and the traceability chain attached to it is also very nuanced. So one of our biggest tasks right now is working directly with the producers of these commodities. We're going to be working. One of the first ones we're going to be onboarding is going to be Sri Lankan Ceylon tea.
Yep. And
so we're actively working with the Sri Lankan government right now to facilitate relationships with several major growers to basically create an HLR, high-level requirements document based on what they have. Because really the whole point here is to not create something where somebody from, let's say a Sri Lankan tea grower, right? They're going to come on there and going to look around and say, what the hell is this thing? How do I use it? You don't want that. What you want to create is, they load up the software, they go into the portal, right? To use this and say, oh, okay, all right, I know what this is. Like, oh, I know what this is. Oh, this is cool. I used to have to do this way, but now I don't have to do it. That's the reaction that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And that will only come if you work directly with these people and create a solution that really kind of mimics what they're already used to, but adds value so that they can go so that it's better for them. They see it's actually better for them to utilize the system versus just doing it the old-fashioned way.
You need to see some sort of benefit from implementing a new system.
Yeah, exactly. Just kind of build it. If you build it, they will come doesn't always work. I said this before and I'll say it again, instead of building it and hoping they will come, build it because they're coming.
Yeah.
That's
and
how
the
you
cool
build
thing
these
about it
systems.
as well, if you engage these people through the process of active sort of development as well, they have a lot more sort of buy-in and engagement, and want to utilize the product as well.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And also something else that's been suggested to me, and this is something that I've actually just kind of also I've announced on social media a few days ago. That's our special thing we're doing for the Ergo anniversary.
Yeah, and you did make a little bit of an announcement there. So yeah, thank you very much. Let's get to it.
Okay, I did it just in son. Okay, sorry about that, guys. You just have to do it on social media. You have to create a little excitement, or you have to be really smart like Alex and just go online and just say, "This is new. Here is new release of Ergo client. Your network is now more secure." That is all. It's like you have to do that. Like it's just drop something. Here's something big. Use it. Yeah. Or you have to be more creative. Like us, not very smart people have to, and just kind of put a little more intrigue and make people excited about it, because that's also that's why this space is fun.
Yeah,
because it's a show, right? I mean, this particular space, it's a show. I mean, what are you, CW? You're a content creator, right? Because there's content to create, because people are looking for content.
Exactly right.
Because people, because that's what the space is about. So, and you don't make your content. I mean, you have that great background behind you, not because you're into clocks, right? But because you like to have an aesthetically pleasing background to create your content in, because you're creating, you're creating useful content, but you're also entertaining, and exactly that is why why people are so into this particular field, is because it's fun.
Exactly.
The blockchain space, the crypto space is fun. And you're doing something that you feel is going to change the world, and you can't go wrong with these two things.
So what you were hinting at there, something along the lines of mining. So yeah, do you want to elaborate on that one?
Yeah. So thank you for bringing me back from my tangent. That's what you're here for, man. That's what you're here for. So what I was thinking, and what I was been suggested is to also incentivize users of Palmyra, these the commodity creators, the producers of commodities, and also on the other end the buyers. So the participants of the ecosystem, the Palmyra ecosystem, to be more actively involved in actually creating a secure, more stable network for all of these transactions to happen in. And so what we came up with is potentially creating crowd ownership of physical rigs, of physical mining rigs, that will be, actively used to secure the network, right? Because that's what it's about. The more hash power, the more miners you have, the more secure the network. And so what we're going to be using, we're going to be incentivizing the participants of the Palmyra ecosystem to be actively involved in this. So basically, crowd owning miners. That we will, of course, we'll make it easy for them to do what we'll do the maintenance, we'll do the hosting. I'm also going to be looking to work with, say, GetBlock, because they are, and I haven't spoken to them yet. So guys, I've been trying to contact you about your extended warranty, GetBlock. So I am going to be reaching out to GetBlock because their infrastructure is very low. So I really think that there's going to be something we can do together about this. And so what we're going to be doing for the Ergo anniversary is actually building several miners to be utilized for Ergo mining, and then creating a kind of a crowd ownership type of subscription service for people to be able to, subscribe and to crowd own this rig and to be actively, involved in, securing the network, because that's what it's all about. And they won't have to worry about these things, right? We're going to be hosting this. We're going to be maintaining this, upgrading this. They're just going to be kind of in there, right? They're going to be the sponsors.
Yeah, you often find a number of people who want to get into mining, but then they might not have the space or the facility, even the power, sort of like the utility sort of being able to provide. This is a pretty novel way for them to be able to be included and secure the network.
Yeah, and I understand that GetBlocker is already doing something similar, so that's why I want to really work with GetBlock as much as possible to combine our efforts, because, that's what it's all about. And so what I'll be doing from the Zengate side is, after we create these miners and after we kind of agree on the infrastructure that we're going to be utilizing, with GetBlock or any other partners that we're going to be working with, what I'll do is I will give away several, obviously never, but timed subscriptions to this crowd sharing of these rigs. So that's what we will do for the third anniversary of Ergo. It's not revolutionary, but I think it'll have the direct impact on making the network better, and also providing ways for more people to participate. So I really think it's a win-win all around. As I was saying before, I'm not looking to turn a profit on this. I'm just looking to kind of, try and break even with support and maintenance of this rig. And this is really for the community, and for our ecosystem. So hopefully you guys will, participate when we do the raffle, and others of you that don't get in through the raffle, it's going to be very affordable as well. Like I said, we're going to do all we can to make sure that this is really made to really create inclusiveness into the ecosystem.
Yeah. You just mentioned a raffle there. How does one be able to get into the raffle there, or are you just still ironing out the details on that front?
I'm still ironing out the details on it. I will have more information about this. I'll make an announcement. I'm going to be making an announcement about it on social media. Probably somewhere in the middle of me, breaking balls for some people talking crap about something. So just like look, Dan going off on somebody. Announcement about the whole mining thing. Dan going off on somebody. So just like right there in the middle. Right there. And also I'll announce it on the upcoming AMAs. And of course, guys, I'm always open to more suggestions, because this actually came from somebody who spoke to me, and somebody who suggested this, that we would do this for Palmyra.
Yep.
And I said, well, why not just do it? Not just for Palmyra, but just do it. Because really the purpose of Zengate is to be this commercial arm of Ergo, the unofficial commercial arm of Ergo. And so, what are we going to do? We're going to bring more commercial adoption to Ergo and utilizing Ergo. But also we're here to advance Ergo, to advance the network. And what better way of doing it than actively participating in securing the network?
Yeah, I think it's a nice sort of recap of all the products that you're offering and the benefits of those. So obviously benefiting the Ergo ecosystem by bringing on a lot of sort of commercial adoption, but then the product suite themselves being able to benefit the producers, and then the consumers being able to track their products and things like that. I think it's a really good thing that you're doing here.
Well, yeah, I hope I appreciate that, and I hope that we will succeed. It's not a matter of if we're going to succeed. We will succeed. I just hope it's not going to be as painful as it could be doing it in this market. I've I've gotten a lot of comments like, oh, you should just wait. You should just wait. Look, you will never ever time things correctly. You never will. That's this is over two decades of business business talking right here. Okay, been doing business since the 90s. It's never the right time.
Exactly right.
It's never the right time to innovate and to cause paradigm shifts. Ergo was born in crypto winter, was it not?
Yeah, 1st of July 2019, smack bang in the middle.
Yeah, crypto winter, middle of crypto winter. So look, yeah, it's difficult. Yeah, it is difficult to do a company like Zengate and to do all these projects and to do all these verticals that I'm telling you about and that I'm engaged in right now. Myself and of course my team. We have a very, very good. We have a great team. And I mentioned him before, but I have a great co-founder. His name is Sam Lambert. He's been helping out tremendously with putting everything together. Hopefully, we can get him maybe on one of these shows at some point and have him kind of tell his story about working with Dan and how he has to what kind of crap he has to put up with.
Slave 24 hours a day.
Yeah, exactly. A slave to my antics. Aside from that, we have Malcolm Bloom working with us. He's actually an input-output alumni. Right. We have Kalam Sheehan working with us from Sri Lanka. Many other people. I mean, it's really diverse crew of people that are really believe in what we're doing, and that's why I know we're going to succeed because. It's not just me pushing it along. It's not just me kind of sitting here and just trying to push everything along. If I'm not while I'm asleep, stuff is happening. When I'm awake, stuff is happening because I'm not the only one that's making the stuff happen. And that's how I know we're going to succeed because, it's people share my vision and people are actively pursuing that same vision. So bulls or bears, we will succeed.
Yeah, I think that's a nice little segue, I think, into the Ergo side of things. You just mentioned the working with your team there, and you've set up a nice little team to be able to integrate and build out Zengate. Working with the Ergo team, so Joseph and Alex and everyone else sort of that behind the scenes, how's your experience been there?
Well, no, it's been great. I've known Alex for some years now. I met him. I think the first time Alex actually met him. I worked with him since 2016, but I actually met him in person for the first time. I think in 2017, early 2017. And Alex. Look, one thing about Alex is that he is consistent. He's consistently, it's like Alex is always Alex. Alex will do Alex stuff all the time, right? And if you like Alex stuff, you have, you know what I mean, creating these brilliant systems and putting out these updates and just like, a million miles an hour of thought going in his head. He's always been like that. He's always will be like that. It's nonstop with this guy. And you just have to be able to kind of jump on board and hang on and be like, okay, man, let's go, let's do this thing. So yeah, very, very, very good. Joe, again, another fantastic guy. I sometimes do still think that he might be just like a ghost in the machine, a voice of Ergo. Okay. So he's maybe because look, Joe, I can never get him to leave his mountainscape in Colorado. I was waiting for him to come down to Austin. He didn't want to do it. He claims to have a car. He claims to be going to places, but I sometimes I think maybe Joe is actually created by Alex, and Joe is the combined voice of the Ergo platform. He's a really, really smart guy. He knows a hell of a lot about Ergo and like pretty much everything, you know, like the whole thing. I mean, I would say Joe is as brilliant as Alex. You know, he's just a really smart guy, really easygoing, very assertive, like Ergo. So that's why I think he's actually like, you know, like the Borg Queen. You know, it's the Star Trek reference. You know how like the Borg Queen is the collective voice of the Borg collective. You know, I think maybe Joe is the collective voice. He's the voice of the Ergo collective. Maybe. We will see one day. He said he was going to come down to the Rare Bloom event that's happening in the fall. We'll see, Joe. Okay. I still want to see proof of human from you, okay? Because sometimes you're too good to be true, okay? This guy shows up to every damn meeting. I can set a meeting in the middle of the night. If it's an important meeting, Joe's like, "Yep, I'll be there."
Yeah.
God, man, I feel bad that I do this to you. Or he'll wake up at like some ungodly hour to do an AMA. Just the word trooper is thrown around a lot these days, but damn, this guy is a soldier. I mean, this guy is a trooper. This guy is here for Ergo. You know, he's an awesome pillar of Ergo. I'm very, very fortunate to be able to work with him. And to really be able to, you know, bounce things off of him, to work with him on these different verticals that we're creating. So yeah, Joe, fantastic guy. Like I said, he's just as big of a pillar Ergo as anybody else. And of course, you know, I mean, we have other great people. You know, we got Mark Glasgow. Well, we got you, CW, and you know what, CW, listen. Like I told you, okay, everybody's got these anon handles, okay? So I really think that CW stands for Cecil Wombat. CW. It's an Australian name, right? Cecil Wombat, like Jones or something. CW. It works. It works.
I'm going to have to get a wombat sort of picture up here.
Yeah, well, you got a koala over there, and what is it? The
kookaburra
or something?
A kookaburra.
One of those, yeah, yeah. So just get a wombat, like Cecil Wombat, CW. Well, CW, you know, you're or Wombat for short. Actually, CW is shorter than Wombat, but anyway, you get the point. You know, you're also a great pillar of the community, creating all this great content. You know, I worked with you for the Ergo meetup. You know, actually Sam, who's also Australian, by the way. What is really Australian for me? Yeah, he's also Australian. I forgot where he's from though. Is he from Brisbane as well? Everybody's from Brisbane. Yeah, you know, we were in Texas, and I think I sent a message like the middle of the night for you or something, like super early morning. And then Sam was like, "Oh, he's not going to be up." And then you answered like 20 minutes later. It's like, what? He's up, really?
Well, crypto never sleeps, does it?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's do wombats sleep?
They're nocturnal, so yeah, it works out well.
See. Okay, now it makes sense. Now it all makes sense.
Well, thank you very much for those kind words, mate.
Well, it's the truth, you know. I mean, it's not just about one person. It's about the group. It's about the community, and if it be strong, the project is strong, and the project will live on, and it will evolve, and it will survive.
Exactly right. I think that's very nice words to wrap this up. So thank you very much for those kind words personally, but then also the kind words for the community. Obviously, Ergo is very community driven, and everything that sort of happens on the back end aside from the core team is just to try and enable the community to run with everything that they do in regards to sort of open source frameworks. Sorry. So yeah, it's been great chatting, Dan. Thank you very much for your insight in regards to Zengate and your little sort of Easter egg there with the mining product that you're offering. So yeah, thanks very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for having me, and happy anniversary, Ergonauts. We did it, and we'll keep doing it for years and years and years to come. And I just hope that the contribution that myself and the Zengate team has or adds is going to really, really help strengthen what the Ergo mission is about.
Most definitely. Well, pleasure chatting, mate. Take care and have a great day. Have a good one.
Thank you. You do the same.
Cheers.